Hey, Ange.
Hey, Les, how's it going?
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, thank you. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy
Yeah.
Mother's Day to you. Yeah.
Let me tell you what's funny about Mother's Day. I was talking to either my aunt or my grandmother today, right? And they were asking, what are you doing? What did you do today? And I'm like, when you're young, you want to make every party. You want to really be in there and whatever. And I'm like, I am having a glorious day doing nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, it's like,
Nothing.
what a privilege
So
to have my
good.
feet up. I even watch
So
TV, and
good.
I'm not a TV watcher,
I
but
know.
I was watching like a couple of great day.
So good. Kai calls me this morning. Mom, are you out and about, like gallivanting out there today? I'm like, hell no. Hell no.
Yes. What do you want
No.
for Mother's Day?
I
Peace.
said, listen to what I'm doing. I'm eating my rum raisin and grape nut ice cream that I got yesterday and just savoring every moment of
It's
it.
the
That's what
simple
I'm doing.
things. I
It's
had
the
chocolate
simple
chip
things.
today. It's the simple things and
It's the
8
simple
leftovers.
things.
It was glorious. I got to tell you.
I gotta tell you.
So, welcome to another episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn.
I'm Angela, and that's Leslie, my best friend of almost 50 years. We are two free-thinking, 60-something-year-old Black women who have decided to be more bold and joyful about life, and we invite you to come along with us. Today, we're going to be talking about extraordinary female friendships. And outside of this friend couple here, we have other really close friends, one of which is the amazing comedian Kim Coles. And we wanted to talk about Kim and Erika Alexander's new podcast today and introduce you to that and also to share with you an episode that we did with Kim many seasons ago. So you'll
Yeah.
get to see how we interact, what an extraordinary female friendship looks like. Before we go further, Leslie, what do you got for the people?
Well, I have an ask. And it's just a wee ask, very
Oh, we.
small, just a wee ask. But I'd love for you to click like and subscribe. I want you to know about all the content we share whenever we drop new content. And I think you'd like it and you'll tell your friends. So hit like and subscribe and turn on notifications also.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So,
This new podcast,
this
I
new
listened to it.
podcast,
It
it's
is just
called Reliving Single.
ReLiving Single because, as you
Reliving
know,
Single.
Erika Alexander and Kim Coles were two of the leads on the show from the 90s,
The
Living
90s.
Single.
Living Single.
I tell you, one of the things that was just so wonderful listening to the podcast is that we were clearly like, she was part of our lives then.
She was, yes.
On screen and personally.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
just hearing the backstory about what she was going through, and then we have our own history of her at the time. It's just brings back such great memories.
It's
And I
so
can't
good.
believe the show aired almost 30 years ago.
It was actually 32 years ago
Mm.
because on their 30th anniversary, the what do you call it? The strike was going on, so they really couldn't talk
Oh,
about
I see.
anything
I get
having
it.
to
I
do with the
get it.
show.
Mhm.
So it's been 32 years. And
Wow.
what this podcast is about is they're actually talking about the backstory, but they are going through every episode and talking about the backstory. It's like you'll never watch it the same again. You'll never
That's
watch it the
true.
same again.
Yes.
So the first episode was the first podcast episode was on May 7th. So it's still pretty new. We encourage you guys to watch it, enjoy it. It's mesmerizing. Even
It
though we
really
know Kim,
is.
we've known her forever, it is mesmerizing. Like, what? what? That was going on? What? Who did what?
Yes,
Really?
yes.
It's one of those. Highly
Now
encourage it.
here's some of the things that I was thinking because, again, we've known Kim almost 50 years like we've known each other, we all went to Brooklyn Tech together, and that's when we met in 1977.
Mhm.
So, I'm thinking, like, the Kim that I know for all these years, and she's talking, and she's like a badass. She's going up to Les
Yes.
Moonves, the head of the, uh it wasn't Miramax, but the head of the,
Whatever the
network,
company was,
and
yes.
and
Yes.
negotiating with
Her
him
and
and
her and,
asking for
Queen
what she wants, and
Latifah.
I'm like,
Yes.
"What? Kim was
Yes.
a boss back like that?"
Back
It's
like
like,
that. Back like that.
wow.
And let me make a slight correction because I spoke to Kim today actually, and,
Mhm.
so I met Kim in 1976. That's when we started high school, before I met Leslie.
Mm.
And actually, Kim was my first high school best friend. But guess what happened?
What, I nosed
After the
in?
first year,
I sidled up and
after,
said, "Wait a
after the first year,
minute."
because I moved really close to where Kim lives,
Mhm. You
and
guys lived a
so we
block
would
away.
yeah, so my mom would, drive us to school, or we'd take a bus together, whatever. But Kim
You were cheating
started
on me.
I was cheating, but it was be is
Mhm.
it cheating if it's before we met? I don't think it's cheating.
Theoretically, yes.
I I don't think it's cheating.
Right.
But Kim went into politics. She became the, class president,
She
like,
did.
all 4 years.
All 4 years
So
at
she went
Tech.
into that, she became like a twirler, so she was hanging out with the football team.
Cheerleaders,
I
yeah.
was being a geek, Leslie was a geek. So,
Mhm.
sophomore year, we just got I mean, we never were stopped being friends, of course, but Leslie and I just had m more things in common, and guess what? She knew how to sew.
And I could sew exactly.
She could sew.
So I
So
knuckled
anyway
in.
so anyway, yeah, so we really want you to watch and also listen to our episode. It was when we were young podcasters. We were I don't know, I listened to it, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe we kept going."
It's
Going.
it's so funny because when I listen back to our
Oh my
season 1
gosh.
and season 2,
Yeah, this was
it
season
was like
2, I
we
think.
were so
Green.
first of all, why would we even ask Kim Coles to be in our podcast?
Because
We didn't know what
because
the heck we were doing
we
back
were
then.
we
She was
yeah,
so gracious, and we were
she
happy,
was.
obviously, to have her. We did our best.
We
But
did our
remember how
best.
many times we would have to do a take and, like, it's like, "All right, let's start all over again." And
We've improved. We've
yeah,
improved. So
we've gotten a little better.
we
And the
have.
other thing that I'd like to say, in fact, I left a message on Kim's answering machine, yesterday, but, I meant to say to her, "We did this podcast thing first.
Yes, we
Let it be
sure did.
known,
We
we
sure
went there
did.
first."
We sure
Now,
did.
you know
She's a
how
biter.
competitive I am.
Yes, she's a
So,
biter.
I'm like, "Kim, you may have hundreds of thousands of listeners already in a week, but we did it first."
We did it first. And for those of you who are interested, if you go to where is it? I wrote it down somewhere because I'm really petty. Because I'm really petty. She actually mentions our high school, Brooklyn Technical High School, on the first episode of the podcast of her
Yes.
podcast, and it
Season
was
1,
kind of
episode
at
1.
maybe at 30.
Wow.
That's where she mentions it.
I
So
thought she
if you
was
want to
gonna
hear,
mention me.
oh,
I
she actually said when she talks about her friendships, her extraordinary friendships, we're in the mix. So we're in there. We're in there. We're in,
I was
and
g
she promised to
yeah.
be back on our podcast to support us because that's just who she
That's
is. Has
cool,
always
that's
been this
cool.
way. And yeah, so listen and let us know what you think.
Yeah. So I just want to make a couple more comments about
Mhm.
some of the thoughts that I had while I was listening to the podcast,
Sure.
because she speaks about the episodes as they were being taped and the
Mhm.
mindset and what was going on the set and with the actors and all. And me, I was on the periphery.
Mhm.
I would visit Kim in LA while she was still shooting. And I
Mhm.
remember she gave me a hat, and I still have the jacket, and I used to drive around in her convertible Mercedes.
Mhm.
Now, in '93, I didn't have 2 nickels to put together, whatever. Omari was,
Nobody
what,
needed to know.
5 years old at the time. I was
Mhm.
struggling financially and this and that, and I would go to LA and live like I'm a celebrity driving around
With your
in
scarf
Beverly
blowing.
Hills with in a convertible
That's the way to
Mercedes,
do it.
and it was like I just
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah.
being part of her life like that, and I'm thinking and being just so proud of her,
Yeah, always.
this person that
Always.
I had known at this point, what, 20 years at that
Yeah.
point,
Yeah. Yeah.
almost,
Yeah.
and, it was just yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's how
and
you live abundantly, whether there is money involved or not. That's what that
yeah, well,
that's what
yeah,
that
through your
is.
friendships and
That's it.
all.
That's what
And
that
I've
is,
met
yeah.
Queen Latifah through her.
Mhm,
I've
mhm.
met, TC, obviously, I've
Right.
met Erika
Oh, okay,
Alexander.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I've, known some of these
Hobnobbing.
folks. So I see them on TV and in reruns and all of that, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Wow,
It's
this is
real.
really cool."
It's really cool. All right, so guys, what you're gonna be hearing next is, our episode with our another bestie, Kim Coles. Hey, Les.
Hey, Ange.
How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good, but all right. My energy sounds a little lower than it actually is because I'm really trying to contain myself. I am so excited,
Why
but
are
I'm
you
trying
so
to
excited?
behave.
I'm not going to let you suffer, not a moment longer. So
Oh
let's both
no.
introduce. Hey,
Hey,
Kim.
Kim.
Hey, Ange. Hey, Les. I am delighted and honored and overjoyed to be here. I am so proud of the two of you. It is a delight to have your voices in my head, other than the other voices in my head, on a regular basis. And you all are delicious together. And I know that people are loving it. I know the numbers are growing. And I'm just so excited for what you created. It's really delicious and beautiful. And a beautiful
Awesome.
testament and testimony to your friendship and love.
Thank you so much. I have two quick things to say. One of them is when Leslie and I have talked about our high school, Brooklyn Technical High School, right? And I think we mentioned in
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Oh, we didn't even introduce. Hey guys, welcome to the final episode of our first season of
Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn.
Whoop, whoop.
That's because we're so excited. That's
We're
why.
so excited. But
Because
here's
we
the
have
thing.
our first guest.
Here's the thing that I want to say about the high school that we went to. To this day, our inner circle of friends are friends from Brooklyn Tech, period. So the fact that we've got multiple besties is just a part of being from the tech, in particular the class of 1980, right? Because it just is. So that's one thing I wanted to say. The other thing I want to say is that Kim Coles has been entertaining us since we were 14 years old without fail.
Since 1976?
Without fail. If she had not given us hush money, we would be able to tell you so many things, so many juicy bits. that, we've been paid handsomely not to tell, so we're not going to take it any further. But, if you pay more, we may talk. We may talk. So,
Actually, I'm going to renege on that. So send your money to Leslie.osei22 at.
I say,
you can DM me.
Keep the hush money you received and go ahead and tell the stories, because I want to remember what you did and didn't do. Good times.
Oh my gosh.
Good times. Always.
Always good times.
Yeah.
And you might not know, but Kim, for all 4 years that we were there, right, lads? Kim was student body president.
I was class president.
Class president. Yeah.
But, as I always say, it wasn't because I had any policies or programs or politics. I was just like, hey, vote for me and I'll make you laugh. And because everyone there was so smart and so, some had pocket, like this is the pocket protecting bunch. Super, super smart and super, so many were, serious and intense and, and so it was easy. All I had to do was like, I'm just going to make you laugh. They're like, okay. And they would vote. And so I didn't do anything other than make people laugh.
Well, that's a whole lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole lot, right? Because that's like the light and laughter that you continue to bring to the world. It's been beautiful to watch you, and we still get choked up when we see you perform. It's still like,
I certainly do.
Oh my gosh, that's our girl right there. And, I'm like, ooh, she makes it look so easy.
We need you more now than ever. We really do. We need laughter. We need your energy. We need your love. And I felt it for more than 45 years. So,
Thank you for that. And I want to say to everyone who's listening, I'm a stand and I'm an evangelist for joy and for tapping into joy, finding the joy in every situation that you can, finding the lightness and finding the God of your understanding is always there. And that's where the joy and the bliss and the love is. And again, like you said, Les, we need it now more than ever. There's so much that's going on out there that it's our job, our responsibility to handle keeping as much joy as possible available in our world and in the worlds that we impact. Yeah, in our house.
Absolutely.
Beyond. Yeah.
Absolutely true. So there's a special reason we were going to have Kim on anyway, because, why not? I mean, she's one of our besties. But also because as we bring our season 1 to a close, this is the last episode of our season 1. I think Leslie and I said it last episode that we really intentionally made season 1 be about getting to know who Leslie and I are, right? So we got pretty personal about who we are. And you've heard us talk a lot about the right brain, left brain thing and, just kind of poking fun at each other and we wanted to bring Kim on as the last episode of the season because she's got this fascinating, good choice of word, huh? She's got this fascinating program that evaluates one's, I don't know is it a personality? What is it that is evaluated?
It is. Well, I became what we call a fascination certified advisor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm certified in the system of fascination. It was discovered by a woman named Sally Hogshead, and it's actually based on science. Mm-hmm. It's the first personality test that tests how the world sees you rather than how you see the world. And the whole premise behind it is that when you discover how you communicate at your best, you can then go ahead and be the most authentic version of you. And for those of us who are in business or work with teams, it's really about celebrating your uniqueness and celebrating that different is better than better. And
wait, excuse me. Pause on that, please. Say that again. Say that again.
So we live in a world that's commodity. What's the commoditization? It's too many syllables because I have But in a world that's competitive and we're all trying to be seen and heard and stand out in the way that we want to stand out, that different is better than better. So isn't that great? So
It's
rather
great.
than trying to be better than someone, because who decides what better is?
Right.
But different, being your unique, I like to say perfectly imperfect self is all that is needed for such a time as this. And so what if we're taught now, what if we are empowered now, I should say, to dial up what makes us us? Then you remove the necessary, permission to, I'm not saying you can't still improve and work on things and strive for something more, but to just be more of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It could be said that just being more of yourself might be just enough, might be all you need to do in order to stand out, to make a difference, to show your value, and to celebrate your mission and message for the world. That's the fascination.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why that's so deep, because what's coming up for me is in my years and years of conversations with Ange and her work with diversity and inclusion and the beauty and value of having non-homogeneous groupings of people in workplaces and in settings and things like that.
You were actually listening?
I actually listen once in a while, baby. Once in a while, it comes through. But so listen, how you've told me that diversity of thought, of character, and everybody brings their it to the table. And it's just incredible that more people in the C-suites and managers don't really get that.
Yeah. That's so true. That's so true.
This system was created by Sally Hogshead, as I mentioned, and it's also about personal branding as well. And the work was created so that people and teams could work together best. So imagine you have a huge, company or a huge team of people working, and now with this fascination work, you get a chance to find out how each one of these people uniquely fascinates others, how they uniquely communicate. And then you can empower them to do their best work. So if you've got somebody in accounting and they are a comedian or they're, they're passionate and they're the life of the party and they have great ideas, but yet you're relegating them to be, with their abacus counting the numbers and they're good at it, yes, but also empower them and also unlock their greatness in other ways so that you can work better as a team. So, part of this work is, how do you already fascinate the world? How are you already, how is your personality already adding distinct value, and then celebrating that and calling that to the table, going, great, we can be even better together.
I love that. So if you haven't seen it already, that is what we wanted to kind of delve into is how Leslie and I's reports, what they look like, and how much of it is consistent or inconsistent with the way that we've been presenting ourselves as left brain, right brain. And so I am so excited to jump in.
Who wants to go
you're
first?
Excited. I'm a little afraid, as usual.
No,
you're so skittish.
Self-discovery is a little hard for me, but okay.
Well, here's the good news about this work is that every last one of the archetypes, there's 49 archetypes, and they are all yummy. And they're all, when I first found this work years ago, and I was so committed to becoming a coach and becoming certified in this. This is in addition to Hollywood and all that other stuff. That's great. This I love because people have an opportunity to be seen and heard, and you're gonna hear things and you go, wait a minute, that is how I do what I do. And for me, it felt life affirming. So I don't have to pretend to be anything else. I show up as me, and it's like the road will rise up to meet me, and so will that all of you. So I'm going to start with you, Leslie, since you seem to be
a little reticent.
Well, so wait till you hear your name. I'm going to tell you your new name. Your advantage is your archetype is you are the change agent. Don't that sound good?
Go, Leslie. Go, Leslie.
Your advantages are power and innovation. I'm going to give you just, I wasn't going to add this to the mix, but let me just give you this. I'm going to tell you two things that I love about this. Number one, you have a twin. So I can call you either the change agent, or I can call you, you're going to love this, the maverick leader.
Oh, not the maverick leader.
Yeah. I want the maverick leader.
Okay.
ML for short.
ML for short. The maverick. Doesn't that feel good? No.
And I'll allow you to call me Maverick.
Okay.
It's no longer Leslie.
It's no longer the maverick leader. Now, here's what's really cool about this is that
Excuse me. Okay. Dr. Maverick Leader.
Wait a minute now. Dr. Maverick Leader. Now, here's what's hysterical about that. I have another Dr. Maverick Leader in my life, and it's my boyfriend.
Oh,
my EJ is the boss, and we call him the boyfriend of sweetness, is also the Maverick Leader. So when I pulled your report, and I was like, oh, your sister-in-law is the same. So let's just talk about how you communicate already, Leslie. So the power advantage means that, and if you all hear some pages flipping in the background, that's because I'm literally flipping the pages. It's the most effective way of communication. You are inventive, untraditional, and self-propelled. Right? You
all
are
those things.
Independent, witty, sharp. You have a strong drive to come up with a different approach. Mm-hmm. And you can let me know if this resonates with you or not, or you can look in your life where this pops up. And I'm going to share a story with you in just a moment. I was like, oh my goodness, I get it. This is where it shows up. You bring alternative opinions to dull meetings and fresh ideas to stale companies. Is that you?
It is.
I want to talk about that a little bit later on when you finish, Kim.
You're not afraid to be different. When you get on a roll, you can bring people in with a flurry of untraditional approaches. Your energy and direction gives you the power to inspire other people to be innovative as well. So the term power, it has a connotation of clicking down the hallway with her high heel shoes, which you may do, ruling. But the truth is that true power, when it's wielded in a particular way, is to create space for others to shine and do well.
Yeah.
Let me just go through a few other things. I want to get to you're resourceful and artistic. You're unafraid to go against the grain. You have creativity, ideas flowing. Your communication style is bold. I've always been so impressed. You succinctly have always you enunciate your words. You always have, and you're just
wow.
I can hear you clearly in my head anytime I even think about you. Clever, charming, good humor, vivid. I have 100 more adjectives.
Okay, but I get it.
Can I remind you of something, Les? Remember, this is identifying how people see you. Mm-hmm. And I know that what your Judge Judy is saying to you now, maybe, that those things that you are not, the ways that we see ourselves, we are our harshest critic. And I really want you to do your best to let this stuff go down to your toes, because I know that you may be having because we talked about like, I don't like my voice or, and I'm the same way. I'm not saying that, you're the only one who's like this, but Kim is talking about how people see you.
Yeah. Well, let's ask her how is this landing with you? Do you see that how is this landing with you?
Well, one thing I find it pretty interesting because Kim, you've known me all my life, and some of these things are exactly the way that you've described me years and years ago. I don't know how much you have remembered or thought about that yet, but oh my gosh, it's really something else.
But not trying. We all know people and women in particular who are trying to be a boss chick.
Mm-hmm.
You've never told me that. You've never said that you had that impression. It was actually some of the other adjectives that you said from like high school.
You felt very much in command of your femininity, your command of yourself. And even though, listen, all of us have our unshakable moments on the inside, but you were confident and you were attractive, not only because you're so beautiful, but you were attractive because there was an energy of confidence and boldness, but also allowing others to be who they are. You seemed very allowing, even though you didn't like my glitter nail polish. And now you do.
She will never forgive you for that.
Then I saw you with glitter nail polish. I was like, oh, look who's on the other side now. I love that.
You can.
But one thing that I find so wonderful about this fascination assessment is that here I am, or was a 15 or 18 or 20-year-old person, and the character traits of how I am perceived have gone for all these years.
Mm-hmm.
They've been consistent.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Say this, when I was reminded while listening to, and Andrew, we're going to get to you, and then I'm going to double back. So again, you are power and innovation. Innovation is bright new ideas. Power is, power is the language of leading with command, but not demand, but command, which is very different.
Wow.
Right? And the story of you deciding I'm going to med school at 36, and it's done more and more and more as the years have gone by. But you were like, you said I was the oldest person in my class, but I was determined to do it, and you did it. And then I heard on the episode, I forgot about the award that you won just by showing up and being the best, not competitive, but being compassionate.
Yeah.
And I know that your patients are better for having you in their lives because you're in their life. And that speaks volumes about you and the way you crafted a way for you to be able to do it, and an opportunity for your son and his father to spend time together while all of this was all happening. That took great innovation. There are many who would have said, I can't do this because and you did the ultimate for everyone's life involved. And
thank you, love. Thank you. All right, Let's hear about Ange.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna double back to the tertiary in a minute because you're gonna love this. So Ange, Angela,
yes,
is the catalyst. Catalyst. I'm gonna tell you your twin.
Okay.
Your twin is the rock star. What?
Oh.
Wait a minute now. So, my dear, you are you lead with passion and innovation. Passion and innovation. So that means that both of you have innovation in common. So of course, a podcast is perfect. Of course, showing others how a decades-long friendship can thrive and grow and change and grow again. That's innovative. When we hear stories of women not getting along, I don't have any women like that in my life.
Yeah, ditto.
Like, what do you mean women aren't getting along?
What do you mean?
Only women who support each other, but that's another story. So, of course, the innovation is working. So you are out of the box, social and energizing. And as the rock star, you are bold, artistic, and unorthodox. And so notice how there's that cross, that you all have together. Passion is the language of relationships. Passion is the language of emotion. And you absolutely do lead with your whole throbbing heart all the time. And you always have, And so the world sees you. This is how the world sees you.
Okay.
You make a vibrant first impression and you're valued.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
You are valued for your enthusiastic approach and ability to generate ideas. I'm certain that when you were in your corporate world, when you walked in the boardroom, they're like, okay, now we can get started. Here we go. I'm certain of it. Buoyant and social, you embrace new situations and relationships with zeal. I've watched you do that for as long as I've known you as well. You have, I've watched your curiosity as people from different walks of life or different cultures would come in and you'd be willing to learn about them and incorporate, how do you talk? And it just really important. You speak with flair and you use expressive gestures. You know how to captivate an audience. You are named the catalyst because you add value by starting action.
Wow.
Whoa.
Right? As in this podcast?
As in this podcast.
As in this podcast, our producer.
Your creative spirit, you often dislike repetitive linear tasks. However, you all talk about this right brain, left brain thing. Angie, I've absolutely seen you in your, what is the thing that you create and you put it on the wall? You engineer things. You're an engineer.
Yeah.
Left brain for sure.
A creative.
Absolutely. And Les, I've watched you over the years express your creative way of, there's a way that you can look at something and find the humor in it that, we may not even, like we have this thing that we do where we laugh at something and then it goes deeper and then it goes deeper and then a whole other thing happens. And like you're able to track this thing and then it's almost like you create a movie with the way that you're able to track this one talking about cheese, but then and we get to laugh deeper and deeper and deeper. And I watch you do that. And that's very right brain. And so I watch you all use both and all of your big, beautiful brains to impress and to impact. Again, Angela, for you should be free for work that demands untraditional thinking. So you're out of the box, social, energizing, enthusiastic, and creative. And you feel passionately about things. One of my favorite things about you is how you will close your eyes to find the words you want to say.
She does that.
I do.
And you better wait because it's coming. It's just
and right. And she'll hold your arm down and it's like, wait, like don't say anything. Don't say.
Oh, like the holding down of the, and we've learned to go, wait, because something's coming. She's going to the well to dig it up. And there it comes.
Oh my goodness.
And she has even said on the podcast, like, all right, I know I'm going on a tangent, but wait for me. I'm coming back.
But do you see how, if we know this about each other, how we can support each other? So for someone, who doesn't understand that about you, Angela, they may go, okay, hurry up, lady. I don't have time. Right. Come on. Right, they need to know, you need to wait for it because she's going to the well and she's going to pull up some gold. And for you, Les, we know that you're a doctor doctor, and we know that you're a scientist, and we know that you've got this whole left brain thing going. But if you give her just a little bit of space, it's going to be with compassion and joy. And you occur to me as someone who has a constant state of positive expectancy, because listen, we've all been through a lot. We've all been through a lot, and you held space for all of us in the ways that you do. So there.
Kim, let me tell you something funny that comes up when so Leslie and I have talked about in the podcast our Bible study that we would have Saturday mornings, early Saturday mornings, right? It became this constant thing that Leslie was always the one wide awake, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
At 7 a.m.
Already took the dog for a walk, had her third cup of coffee, and we'd be just getting up. Could you turn down the sunshine? Enough with the sunshine already. It's too much. It's too much. It's blinding. Turn it down, Leslie. So yes.
And I'm like, didn't we know that it was Bible study? We've been doing this for 10 years. Why are you still under the covers?
I just listened to that episode, and if it takes 12 years to get through the Bible,
there's no rush.
There's no rush. It's going to be there. It's going to be there. I love it. I love it.
Your father, Reverend Dr. Coles, would appreciate that.
Oh, please.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Kim, one of the things that what struck me about the description and we tend to want to put people in boxes, and here goes my out of the box thinking. It's just the way I'm wired. You have proof of that now. Okay. Kim just told y'all, is that you cannot be so rigid about people. They're only this way, or they're only that way, or this is the way they're going to react because they're that way and they're not this way. And having these really rigid, there are always intersections. There are always times that people are going to act differently. And, just the idea of knowing those things that, kind of come is a consistent way that you operate. It doesn't mean that that's the only way that you operate. So can you talk to us about that a little bit?
As you were talking, what was coming up for me was the more of us that are willing to see each of us as, multi-layered and complex, and to grant people grace. Because on top of it,
I was just thinking grace the whole time you guys were talking. Grace.
Yes. And because on top of this is culture and religion and background and, stories of things that have happened or haven't have happened. Yes. And we bring all of ourselves and this, I just feel that this work allows me to go, okay, so by the way, I'm also a catalyst.
Oh yeah.
And, that you get to be willing to love all parts of yourself and be open to loving others, or at least being non-judgmental of others.
Right.
To accept them and allow them to be as they are, and to, in whatever ways that we can, create worlds where they can see that there's the sort of the flowering of themselves is a very good idea. This podcast, they're going to be, other besties who listen to this and go, oh, we're just like that. Oh, we should, we wanted to read the Bible. Let's do that together. They're going to be people who take on exercising like you all did. I dropped out of your exercise.
You dropped out kind of early on, Kim.
Kim got us into a group exercise on Zoom.
I'm the catalyst. The catalyst got to stay. I highly recommended him, and then I had to go.
We stuck with it for 2 years, Kim. 2 years.
I'm so proud of you all. But you granted me grace and you let me go. And so I think it's just being willing to accept people as all, just as we want to be accepted as well, or just to be acknowledged. To be acknowledged. Right.